This is Wales, often known as the land of the castles, which would be fitting with over 400 of them dotted around the country. Some have been lived in continuously for over 1,000 years, whilst others are in ruins. The remains of these Welsh castles are living memories of history etched into the walls, marked by invasions, battles and ingenuity. In this video we want to share with you our pinned pics from our previous videos to some of these historic properties that we think are worth putting on the map and being part of your itinerary. Situated on the very beautiful and charming Isle of Anglesey, you'll be able to visit the last of Edward I's Iron Ring of castles along the North Wales coast and step inside a technically perfect example of a castle that was never fully finished. The backdrop of Beaumaris, teamed with its beautiful town, is worth visiting alone for a day out. But the castle is quite special. With a small fee, you'll be able to walk away impressed and glad that you visited this iconic fortress. For history buffs, the ingenuity of its building work, its architecture, history and its remains put Beaumaris at the top of the list. A firm favourite to visit, Edward I's HARLECH Castle is based in North Wales. Its awe-inspiring surroundings from the battlements will take your breath away. This concentric castle was built from ground to battlements between the years of 1283 to 1290, incredibly only taking 7 years to complete. Its classic walls within walls design makes the most of its daunting and beautiful natural defences. When visiting, you'll be able to read and learn about the castle's stormy history and its sieges, walk around the mighty stone gatehouse and climb up to the remarkable yet terrifying battlement walk for views that will stay in your memory for years. Dominating a huge 30-acre site, Caerphilly Castle is Wales's largest and Britain's second largest castle to explore. What isn't there to enjoy about visiting here? Not only has the architectural design of the castle never been seen before in Britain, but its defences and gigantic gatehouses are remarkable. On your visit, you can get worn out by exploring the many mazes of rooms, tall towers to climb, step inside the very beautiful Great Hall and be wowed at Wales's very own Leaning Tower, which is even wonkier than that of Pisa. Visit this impressive 15th century powerhouse down in Monmouthshire in South East Wales. Raglan Castle has always been up there with one of my personal favourite castles to have ever visited, and it's really hard not to see why. Its gatehouse oozes the former opulence and grandeur that grace the walls. It's so imposing as a ruin, and your imagination will run wild with how this castle would have looked back in its heyday. It's quite like a maze when you're inside, although there are plenty of information boards and friendly staff on hand. But you'll find yourself wandering from building to building, climbing towers and delving down into hidden rooms. Remember to always look up when visiting, so you can spot the jeering gargoyles and all of the original centuries-old plaster. This site has it all. Although these next 3 castles are separate, they are all part of what's known as the 3 castles of Gwent, all in a short radius of one another and in the form of an oddly shaped triangle. There is a very popular walk that links all 3 of the Norman castles of Skenfrith, White Castle and Grosmont together. Its main purpose of these named 3 castles was to form a line of defence on the border of the marches to control the transport routes from Herefordshire into Wales. Each has its own identity, Skenfrith for its striking 3-storey circular keep in the heart of the castle, along with the now faint remains of a 2-storey hall that stretches across the southwestern side of the castle. Then at White Castle, for its beautifully isolated appearance, the 6 massive drum towers that protect the curtain wall dominate and give clear indication of this dense fortress And finally, Grosmont, with its pleasing variety of architectural features in different states of decay, gives a great sense of the battles that once the castle endured. Possibly the best thing to do here is to climb the steep steps for an impressive view over the surrounding countryside. Located in the village of Tretower near Crickhowell, you'll be offered a slice into Welsh history, where over 900 years the court and castle has altered, adjusted and adapted its buildings. Much of this was done to keep up with the fashions, the style and the tastes of the time. Be blown away by the medieval gardens, complete with a fragrant rose garden in the summer. Then a visit to the beautifully decorated Great Hall, staged with a feast fit for the king and queen of the castle. Inside this room, spot the stunning cloth tapestries that fill the walls depicting scenes from the most famous battles. Move around to the upper hall in the northern range, which is notable to visit, as is the stone shell keep of the 11th century castle that is just outside the court. Marvel at the huge stone keep that is so mind-blowing when you enter inside and gaze up at its weathered remains, or alternatively climb the steep steps for an overview of this once private and grand accommodation. Kidwelly Castle is on par with the other great castles of Wales. It's certainly up there on our list of favourites to visit. Sited in Carmarthenshire, Kidwelly Castle boasts such a beautiful example of Norman power. It was dramatically altered on a number of occasions to conform to the latest thinking in military science, and once stepping inside you'll feel its history, and the more you explore, the more impressed you'll become. For me, Kidwelly is the castle that really does show what a medieval castle would have looked, felt and been like back in the Middle Ages. I would urge that if visiting you take the stairs up the West Tower for commanding and outstanding views across Kidwelly town and a great overview of the castle itself. So we really hope that you've enjoyed this video and that it's given some inspiration to plan a trip or make a visit to one or all of these incredible Welsh castles and turn yourself into the Castle Crusader. Of course, this is only a very small selection of picks by us in Wales. There are hundreds more to discover. But if you want to see more castles picked by us, either in Wales and the UK, please let us know in the comments below. We want to say a massive thank you to those watching. Please remember to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and even click on the notification bell to never miss another video. We'd like to say thanks to our members and Patreons. If you'd like to be involved, please check out our description box for other ways to support us further. So we'll see you on the next one. Till next time.